ఓకేనా?
ఓకే ఓకే.
ఒకసారి డిస్క్లైమర్ పెట్టండి.
డిస్క్లైమర్ అది ప్రీ బిల్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా. Good evening, everyone. We will start this session in another minute or so. We are expecting more participants to join. Good evening, everyone. I'll start this session in 10 to 20 seconds. Waiting for the page to load. There is some problem with the internet connectivity.
Evening, guys. Mayuresh here. Rushit, you can take the connection and start. Rajshekhar can continue.
Okay. I will do it.
Okay, I'll start. I think the connection is back. Rashid, can you hear me?
You're audible, Rajshekhar. Continue.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Good evening once again, everyone. Welcome to Stock Durbar with Team MarketSmith India. Sorry for the delay. I will start this session with discussing how the Nifty is placed, and then we move on to indices. There is some disturbance. Please, everyone, mute yourselves. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, after moving on to key indices, then we'll take the stock specific queries from the users here. Until then, please do not post any stock specific queries. It will take 5 to 10 minutes, then we can start answering your queries. Let's start discussing about Nifty, how the current market is placed. You can see here, Nifty has had a very huge rally, starting from 16,000 to almost 20,000 level. And during this rally, Nifty has had good support at its 21 DMA, which is a green line, and more than a couple of times it tested 21 DMA and has found good support at this level. And during this rally, we have changed the market status to confirmed uptrend, and we have added stocks to model portfolio, which have pretty much outperformed the market, overall market Nifty and Nifty mid cap, small cap indices. On last 1 month, 3 month time period, we have clearly outperformed the market. After market topping out around this level, there is some kind of profit booking and selling pressure coming into the markets. You can see Nifty during this downtrend, that is selling, Nifty has breached its 21 DMA as well, and currently it is trading near its 50 DMA, which is a red line here. So 50 DMA is going to be a very crucial level for the index. You can see for the last 2 weeks, Nifty has been trading very close to its 50 DMA, and there is no decisive momentum on either sides. Nifty has not been moving higher or lower; it's just moving sideways and trading very in a zigzag manner around its 50 DMA. Currently, Nifty has breached its 50 DMA, but we are talking about market status. We are still in a uptrend under pressure because the selling volume has not been higher, and also Nifty trying to reclaim its 50 DMA. So we are giving a drift of doubt for the market. If the Nifty doesn't reclaim its 50 DMA, then and if there is any 1 or 2 distribution days additions, then we'll change the market status to downtrend. Until then, we'll be staying in the under pressure status itself. On the upside, this 50 DMA is acting as some kind of resistance for the market. So going forward, for the next couple of sessions, if the Nifty finds good momentum, and also there is a Nifty Geo Financial Services has also been acting as a very volatile stock for the indices. Starting from tomorrow, it will be removed from Sensex, but talking about Nifty, there is no clear path when it will be removed from the Nifty. But once that is removed, then we'll see. We'll have a clear idea how the market is placed and how the market is going to play out. On the distribution day count, we are at 6, and 1 distribution day has expired today. So, and also 1 distribution day is added today because Nifty has fallen on higher volume. So there is a weakness in the market, but still we are waiting for 1 or 2 distribution days for the market status to be changed to downtrend. When the market status is changed to downtrend, we'll try to exit our portfolio stocks. And no new additions will be taken during the downtrend. And we'll stay in cash because most of the stocks will follow the general market structure. So probability of breakouts happening in downtrend is on the lower side. And even though if there is any breakout, but the probability of breakout being successful will be also on the lower side. So it's better to stay on the sidelines rather than staying invested during downtrend phase. That is with Nifty overall, and moving on to key in sectoral indices, starting with Nifty Bank. Sorry, again, I think there is some issue with the internet.
We lost your voice. No problem. I will share my screen.
Okay, okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, Rushit.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, perfect. So I think Rajshekar discussed about the Nifty 50 setup, and now let's move on to Nifty Bank. So over here also, the Nifty Bank had breached its 50 DMA a few days back. I think in the first half of the August only, Bank Nifty has breached its 50 DMA. But here there are two groups. One is the private banks that is, I think, mostly adding pressure on the Bank Nifty. Just a disclaimer, I'm not discussing levels or stock for any investment purpose. It's just for the educational only. So if you broadly look, the HDFC Bank, the Kotak, so these guys are putting pressure on the Bank Nifty, also SBI. On the flip side, you have some PSU banks that are outperforming the market, especially the small cash stock PSU banks. They have been doing really, really well. So among the banking also, there has been two groups. But yes, overall, if you look at the index level impact, then these bigger, the larger banks have a huge impact on the movement of index. And they are, I think, stopping the Nifty to move higher. Now, the Bank Nifty is attempting to reclaim its 50 DMA, but it is failing to do that. I think 2-3 times in last few days it has attempted to reclaim that level, but it's not able to do that. But the one good part, what I see in the Bank Nifty is the volume. So the volume is broadly drying up. So generally, when the index is moving sideways and the volume getting dried up, then that's a good sign. There are possibility that a base is getting formed over here, and if we take the level on the higher side, the rally can resume. However, you need to be very diligent on the lower side also. So after such a consolidation, if again you see that the lower level breaks, the previous low breaks, then you might see some fall near to 200 DMA or even below that, something like this. जैसे कि यहाँ पे हुआ था देखो, पूरा consolidate हुआ, low volume पे था, but the things went the other side. ठीक है, नीचे आ गया market, or you can say Bank Nifty. And sometimes it happens reverse also. Like अगर ऊपर की side breakout होता है, then the index of the stock might go higher in such kind of scenario. Overall, there is no fundamental issues as far as the bank is concerned. If you look at the recent results, they were quite decent for the privates as well as the PSU banks. So there is no much concern on the fundamental front, but yes, technically it is a bit under pressure and one needs to be careful over here. So if you look at the FMCG, it is also struggling to move above its 21 and 50 DMA. So yeah, it is a bit moving a bit sideways now, below its 50 and 200, so 50 and 21 DMA, but it is not giving a breakdown as well. So over here also the trend continues. The urban consumption is helping these companies, but the rural consumption is yet to pick up. It's since long that there are some green shots that rural consumption wapas aayega, but somehow or the other it is not coming at that level which help these companies. So it's a bit flat to a little weaker side as far as the rural consumption is concerned. But one thing is there, अभी जो इनका growth भी जितना भी आया है, जिसकी वजह से there was a very good rally last few months. So that was a price-led growth rather than the volume-led growth on the revenue front. So price hike mostly सारी companies ने ली है, तो उसकी वजह से वहाँ पे revenue में वो reflect हुआ है. Secondly, a lot of raw material cost had come down in the last quarter. So due to that reason, there was some margin improvements as well for these FMCG companies. And I think one of the main reason this index is moving higher, most of you might be knowing, is the ITC. So there was a huge run in ITC in the last few months. And that's what resembles a bit in the FMCG index as well. Now, if you look at the IT, though it is holding a certain level, it is holding above its key moving averages. But still, जो एक zone में फंसा हुआ है ना 32,000 के नीचे, so 26,000 ब्रीच नहीं करना है, 32,000 के ऊपर नहीं जाना है, वो जोन में अभी भी फंसा हुआ है. But the good part is that it is stuck on the bit on the higher side. And if you look at the US market, so वहाँ पे Nasdaq में भी last month एक अच्छा correction आया था. till I think yes, July 19 तक August 19 तक वो correction चला था, but I think since last few days वहां पे भी एक attempt हो रहा है थोड़ा ऊपर जाने का नास्टेक में भी, and even the other IT stock, but broadly जो एक IT spending पे pressure है, ठीक है, और जो projects delay हो रहे हैं, it is not that project मिल नहीं रहे हैं, वो दो अलग चीज होती है market scenario में. There are no project, order book is weak, but here the execution is weak due to the delay at client side. So that is the still problem is persisting among the larger names. जो मिड कैप और स्मॉलर नेम्स है आईटी में, वहां पे इतना प्रेशर नहीं है क्योंकि छोटी टिकट साइज का काम होता है जनरली उसमें, सो उतना सॉरी, सो उतना प्रेशर वहां पे नहीं बन रहा है. बट यस, लेट्स सी इफ द इंडेक्स कैन ब्रेक आउट फ्रॉम हियर. So if it does, then I think this has a potential to lead because काफी टाइम से underperform कर रहा है. A lot of things are getting priced in the negative part, but let's see if it can break out. So I think metals had been a bit volatile for a few days after a good rally. So here mainly the China से काफी सारा impact हुआ था. So the prices have recently been in a good shape for some of the metals. And overall, if you look, the index is doing well. It is getting support near its 21 and 50 DMA, and it is still not going below that level. So let's see if here also it is also trying to form a small base over here. I think a trend line if you draw over here, then so yes. So let's see if it can break out with a strong volume and sustain about this trend line. So यहाँ पे भी एक rally हो सकती है. So now you can see the sectorial rotation. अभी metals flavor में आ रहे हैं. There are probability of IT coming. Okay, and even if today we saw that a lot of auto stocks are making new highs. So that can be reflected in the index as well. So the auto index is moving towards the new high, and the realty also. I will discuss that also. You might have heard news about the booking in Mumbai, right? It's at decade high for the month of for the last month. So a lot of positives coming for the realty sector as well. Even the government push on the infrastructure. So उनके related जो भी forms है, infra related, the home improvement का मान लो, construction related देख लो, engineering forms. Okay, so these all are getting a lot of help. So if we look at Nifty Realty, this index is also trading at a new high. I think today's action is not captured over here. Yes, till Wednesday only it's captured. But आज भी वो 1% around ऊपर था, and among the sectorial index, Nifty Realty was the top gainer. So what your focus should be? See, overall market थोड़ा choppy है. Breakout success ratio is a bit on the lower side. जो पहले होता था उतना easy नहीं है कि breakout के बाद stocks का 10, 20, 30% एक quick performance. It is not that कि ऐसा हो नहीं रहा है, but the pockets are very, very selective. I'm using very, very selective, and I'm very specific about that. So that's what happening in the market now. So there are few ideas, few stocks that are near the pivot that are breaking out. But I think more important is the index level strength to regain. Whosoever is the reason behind them. अगर auto, realty, IT जो भी push करता है, but Nifty should reclaim its 50 and 200 DMA. और जो ऊपर की साइड 19,400, 500 वाला जोन है जहां पे एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस मिल रहा है अभी मार्केट को, निफ्टी को, वहां से ऊपर एक बार आके अगर कंफर्टेबली सेटल हो जाता है, then I think the focus should be more on adding on the positions. So since last few weeks we had done some good profit booking, a couple of loss cutting here and there because the market is under pressure. But I think now if the market gains strength above 19,500, we are ready with few ideas to go in. And if as Rajshekhar has discussed, if we fall below a certain level, if the market is in downtrend, we will book more profit, and if losses, if any. Okay, so now let's move to your queries. So Vineet has a question on chemical sector. Yes, I think Vineet's chemical stocks are moving from the lows. If you see the prices are improving, जो सोडा ऐश वगैरह के और दूसरे chemicals के, so there was a sharp fall in price. तो अभी वहां पे थोड़ा एक improvement आ रहा है. If you look on a year-on-year basis, इतना improvement नहीं है, but month-on-month अभी थोड़ा prices में improve हो रहा है. So that is the reason they are forming bottom. Even the management commentaries are coming a bit on the positive side. So even Aarti, one of the leader in this industry, they were telling that अभी जो Q2 में demand है वो higher है, 8-10% better है जो पिछली बार की expectation थी उससे थोड़ा better demand आ रहा है. And overall FY24 the second half is expected to remain better क्योंकि चाइना का dumping भी अभी थोड़ा easy हो गया है, इतना dumping नहीं हो रहा है चाइना की साइड से. There are some floods in China as well, some environmental issues coming as the winter is approaching in China. So ये सब issues की वजह से I think जो उनका over production and dumping होगा globally, उसमें that will be a bit lower side, and then that's the reason the prices they will get a decent price. These chemical companies.
Rishit, I'll take queries now. Tata Investment and Tata Elxsi.
And just like please do not keep repeating the queries because it's a live session and to scroll back it becomes a bit tough. So we'll try to answer as many queries as possible. We don't have choices for that. We'll take randomly and as many as possible.
Yeah, sure. Okay, starting with Tata Investment. Stock is currently trying to break out from stage 4 cup with handle base pattern, but the width of the base is very high. I can see it is almost an trading in this particular base pattern for a year. So on the width wise, it's a very wide and loose pattern. And stage 4 is considered as a late stage base breakout according to us. And we also try to not take positions in a late stage basis when they are breaking out. On the ratings wise, fundamental rating of EPS is good at 89, but RS rating is beaten down at 57. This is majorly because the stock has not moved much. It has moved only sideways for the last 1 year. So when the market has made a new high, but this stock has not performed in line with the market. So that is the reason RS rating has RS line is also moving sideways and RS rating is on the lower side. So if you are the user is asking whether to hold it or to exit it, so I'm assuming that you already have this stock in your portfolio. So you can continue to hold it, but you can keep the stop loss a couple of points or 1% below 50 DMA because recently for the last 2 weeks, Nifty this particular stock Tata Investment has been trading near its 50 DMA and it has not breached that level, which is a good sign. And so if that level is breached decisively on higher volume, you can exit. Otherwise, you can continue to hold it and let's see how the stock plays out. But if it continues to move on sideways and sideways, then there is no point of holding it as well because you're not generating any returns. So you can wait and see for a couple of weeks and take a decision if the stock moves sideways. Next is Tata Elxsi. Tata Elxsi on the base pattern, recent base pattern is double bottom stage 1 base pattern. But this stock is a beaten down stock. You can see likewise with the Nifty IT index, this stock is also an underperformer in the current market. On the fundamental front, it is looking good with an EPS of 89, but RS rating is one of the lowest rating of 29. So it's a clearly underperformer when compared to general market. Recently, there is some consolidation and stock has formed a double bottom base pattern, but it is still 8% to pivot. So there is a lot of rally to be happened in the stock to take a fresh position. And if you are looking for an question whether to exit it or to hold it, it is trading very closer towards its 50 and 100 DMA. So again, similar to Tata Investment, you can keep 100 DMA as a stop loss level and you can exit depending on that 100 DMA breach. Next is Astral. Okay. You can see the stock Astral. The stock has fallen. Hello, can you hear me, Rushit?
Yes, Raj, it's clear. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay, okay. We have removed this stock actually today in the today's trading session. We had added it on the breakout, but this stock has moved sideways and fallen. And today's volume is also on the higher side, so we had exited this particular stock. So we are expecting most of the users to exit this stock as well when we are exiting. And you can see this 50 DMA a couple of times it tested its level, and today's volume is also on the higher side. So that is the reason we have removed this stock. On the overall market wise also there is increased selling pressure in the market, so it's better to uh, decrease the number of stocks in the portfolio and have higher exposure towards the stocks which are doing good. That is the reason overall view we are holding at the model portfolio wise. That is the reason that we exited stock.
Thanks, Raj. I will take a couple of queries.
Yeah.
One on Coforge. The stock is trading near its all-time high. If you can see on the weekly chart as well. Sorry, it's at 52-week high, so it had all-time high around 6,000 level, which was in 2020, December 2021. Okay, and now it is trying to approach that level. एक broadly अगर देखो तो एक cup जैसा बन रहा है on the weekly front. A huge cup is getting formed on a weekly front, but if you look at the daily, it is quite extended from its base. So यहाँ पे उसका base बना था in January. And after the breakout it failed. I think failed 50 DMA 200 DMA सब तोड़ दिया था. वहां से फिर से रिबाउंड होके एक अच्छा मोमेंटम मिला. ओवरऑल देखो तो this time the result was a decent one. The PAT was bit, थोड़ा margin के side miss हुआ था, but overall the earnings were good and even the deal wins are very good for the company, right? And if you look at the outlook as well, that it is very well placed for growth. It has a multiple long-term contracts and with some of the top brands in the world as far as the technology contracts are concerned. So fundamentally, yeah, growth-wise, stock में कोई issue नहीं है, but technically it is looking a bit extended. So now two things: either it should form a base over here. So last time इसने stage 1 बनाया था, तो वो fail हो गया था. So I think now again it should make a stage 1 base over here, or if you are very aggressive you might take some entry 50 DMA के नजदीक आता है, वहां से रिबाउंड होता है जैसे यहाँ पे हुआ था लास्ट वीक में. तो ऐसा कुछ होता है. दैट इज द आइडियल टाइम टू एज अ अल्टरनेट एंट्री पॉइंट. बाकी सेफ साइड अगर देखो तो अगर मार्केट एक अच्छी पोजीशन में है देन ब्रेकआउट फ्रॉम अ गुड quality base is always a safe entry. Otherwise, the fundamental is good. If you look at the last few results, the ROEs, the fund hold technically little extended. Yes, if you are holding that stock, then I think 50 is a very good level to keep as stop loss, because a lot of time it found resistance between 21. ये green line है 21 है, red 50 है. So उन दोनों के बीच काफी बार इसने एक support मिला है. So closing basis पे अगर 50 DMA is a good level to watch out over here.
Rushit, let's continue with IT. One of the users, Ramesh D, has a question on Zensar Tech as well. Since we are doing IT, let's do that. And let's also cover a couple of these metal stocks that we briefly alluded to. So once we do Zensar Tech, we can complete Ramesh's query with Jindal Steel and Hindalco.
Okay, sure. Okay, so as far as Zensar is concerned, again, similar to the Coforge setup, trading near its 52-week highs. Even if we look at the weekly chart, यहाँ पे भी similar setup है. कि December 21 में इसने high बनाया था, and from there now it is forming a cup and approaching that high. And I think it's very close to that high, 585. यहाँ पे 539, 587 were the previous high, and now it is trying to move near that level as well. So overall here also the fundamentals are quite decent. The number of fund holding is improving quite well. So no problem on that front. Even if you see this time the margins improvement was there, but is for the last quarter result, there was a margin improvement was decent, but over here thoda growth side thoda concern tha, but overall iska order book वगैरह stable है. So broadly there is no major issue over here. So revenue decline भी कोई खास नहीं था इस बार, just 1 to 2% on a YOY basis. Okay, and अगर QOQ देखे तो revenue growth was more than 1%, and the margin was very good. EBITDA margin was almost 19%. अगर QOQ पे देखे तो 4.2% का expansion हुआ था margin का. So this is what something market took it very positively, and you might have seen this rally. ये उसी का rally था, I think. इसका result somewhere around July mid में आया था, and after that you can see there is a very good rally in the stock continuously, and that is due to margin improvement. If you are holding the stock, then over here also the 50 DMA is a very important level to watch out for. बाकी टेक्निकली अभी ये अच्छा लग रहा है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है, लाइक फॉर होल्डिंग. फ्रेश एंट्री के लिए एक्सटेंडेड है. सी फॉर 3, 4, 5 सेशन इट वाज गोइंग डाउन, बट लुक एट द वॉल्यूम्स व्हाइल इट वाज गोइंग डाउन, इट वर लो. आज फिर से वो ऊपर गया, एक फ्रेश हाई बनाया, देन लुक एट द वॉल्यूम केम इन हाई. सो ये चीज देखना रहता है. सो दिस इज क्वाइट पॉजिटिव व्हेनेवर इफ यू आर होल्डिंग अ स्टॉक और यू आर प्लानिंग टू बाय अ स्टॉक, and if you see these kind of actions, then that is quite positive. So now let's look at a couple of metal stocks. If we look at the Hindalco, so this stock is forming a stage 1B saucer base, saucer with handle base bana raha hai. So it's generally a bit on the longer term base. It पहले ये cup with handle भी बनाया था, but then it failed to break out, and then it is now forming a bit of, you can say, the saucer with handle type of base. Consolidate कर रहा है between 50 DMA and its pivot level. So 472 is the pivot level, and इसका नीचे की side में ये 50 DMA के around 442 is 50 DMA. So the consolidation is good. I think if you look at the volume front, तो जब नीचे जा रहा है इतना वॉल्यूम नहीं आ रहा है, बट अगेन व्हेन इट इज ट्राइंग टू मूव हायर देयर इज अ डिसेंट वॉल्यूम कमिंग. सो गिव सम टाइम टू ब्रेक आउट. यू शुड नॉट बी एग्रेसिव ओवर हियर. थोड़ा ब्रेकआउट के लिए टाइम देना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन दिस स्टॉक. फंडामेंटली थोड़ा वीकनेस है. इफ यू लुक एट द earnings, it is not able to deliver that well. Even the fund holdings, though the base is very high, 1.42k, so इतना major change नहीं मानता मैं इसको on a very high base. So that is not a major issue, but yes, earnings में translate नहीं हो रहा है. Revenue growth एक mid single digit हो रहा है 5-6%, but yes, broadly it is not able to deliver the result. So let's see अगर metal के prices ऊपर रहते हैं और globally और demand वापस आता है, so we need to wait H2 में क्या कैसा एक्शन रहता है मेटल मार्केट में, that becomes very important to watch out for. थोड़ा इसका यूरोप में भी एक्सपोजर है, तो इफ यू लुक एट द यूरोप साइड द ग्रोथ इज अ बिट stagnant, वहां से इतना ग्रोथ नहीं आ रहा है. so that might also be the reason that it is not getting the good momentum. Okay, so which was the second metal stock?
Jindal Steel.
Okay, Jindal. Jindal Steel and Power. Okay, so here the stock had breakout from a stage 1 consolidation base, and it is just above its ideal buy zone. So last week ये आया था 50 DMA के. See, this is what I was talking. Breakout होता है यहाँ पे, अगर मिस कर गया तो ऐसे 50 DMA पे आके जब rebound होता है ना वॉल्यूम के साथ, and this is the alternate entry point. So ये वहां से भी थोड़ा extended है अभी, almost 10% from the pivot. So those who are holding the stock, it's no major red flag over here, but you should use 50 DMA as a stop loss looking at the market scenario. Here also, I think the earnings and the sales front not that solid. It doesn't meet the major canceling criteria. Even the EPS rank is quite poor over here. Though RS is decent. Technically, ये अच्छा है, buyer demand और RS अगर देखे, but just if you are a short-term technical trader and if you have your own research, then that's fine. Technically, इसमें rating wise इतना problem नहीं है. Even the the chart is showing some uptrend with blue dots in the recent times. But yes, fundamentally, you still need some more improvement over here to qualify for the canceling.
Thanks, Sushita. I'll take a few queries now. I'll start with HDFC Bank. Stock has been forming base after base. It has formed cup with handle, and then currently it is forming a flat base. And the stage count is 1, that is reset to 1 because the current stage low has undercut the previous stage low. So the current stage is count is reset to 1. And the base formation is not very good. If you look at current base price volume action, most of the times the stock has fallen on higher volumes. If you look at the volume section, you will be able to see, and that is not a good sign of positive base formation. And also the stock has breached its key moving averages, 50, 200, 100 DMS. And HDFC being a major bank and which has market cap of almost 12 lakh crores of market cap, and such a stock breaching its 200 DMA is considered as a bearish sign because this stock has a very good weightage in the Nifty index and Nifty bank index. So if there is any selling pressure happening in this particular stock, then all the indices across the market will also be under pressure. So such stocks, large cap stocks reaching 200 EMA is not a positive sign. Stocks such as Reliance, HDFC, other TCS, Infosys, which have good weightage and which are considered as long-term bets. If those large cap stocks are reaching 200 EMA, is considered as a bearish signal. That is a negative sign. Also, the technicals have beaten down. If you look at fundamentals are still intact. That is the reason we say if you are going by the fundamentals, you would have invested or stayed invested in this particular stock. But technicals have completely deteriorated. If you look at HDFC's price strength and buyer demand, both these ratings have completely came down to poor category. So if you have followed price volume action and technicals, then you would have exited at a higher price rather than following fundamentals. And fresh entry is completely not advised at this particular moment. Let the stock reclaim moving averages and then break out from the current base pattern. So it is a long way to go, another 10% from here. So stock with this huge market cap advancing 10% will take a lot of time. So let's wait and see. And if you are holding it, it's better to exit and move on to other stocks which are trading above moving averages and which are leading the market rather than staying with the laggards. Next is IRCTC. Slightly similar on the technical front. If you see, the stock has been forming a long consolidation base pattern and it has moved for almost an year. It has been trading around 700 and 600 levels. It's a very long base pattern that is the stock is forming, and recently it reclaimed its moving averages, but levels such as 675, 679, that level is acting as some kind of resistance for the stock. You can see currently the stock is trading at that particular resistance level. Let the resistance be cleared and stock trade towards its pivot. But on the technicals, you can see RS rating has completely come down to 29. This is majorly because of underperformance of the stock compared to the market. And EPS is slightly good. It is still intact. Only last quarter EPS has declined, but other than that, the stock has reported a good set of numbers on the sales front and as also on the profit front. But technicals have come down and the stock advances from here and breaks out, then definitely it will be, technicals will also improve. But looking at the current situation, that the probability of that happening is on the lower side. And If you are holding it, you can consider all the moving averages are very closer towards the current market price. So depending on the buy price and the risk appetite, you can keep 200 DMA or 50 DMA, which are very closer, and if that levels are breached, you can exit the stock. Okay, next I'll take Pi Industries. The stock is trading in its stage 4C cup with the handle base pattern. You can see here clearly. Currently, it is trading in the handle portion of the base pattern, and handle portion is also good. The volumes have come down, but today's action is not good. The stock has fallen more than 2%, and also volume was on the higher side, so it is not a good sign. But the stock also breached its moving averages. 50 DMA has been breached. Only 200 DMA is there, which is not breached. So let the stock reclaim those levels, and also RS rating is on the lower side. It is 41. Let the stock improve on the RS rating wise also. If the stock outperforms in the market, then definitely RS rating will improve. Otherwise, it will not improve. So for that to happen, the stock has to break out and move higher and higher. But there is still a long way to go to the pivot. Still another 9% to break out. Fundamentals are looking very good. Not much change in the fundamentals. The stock has very good EPS rating of 96. That is because the stock reported good numbers both on sales and bottom line front. It has reported a good set of numbers, good growth rate, consistent growth was there in the numbers. The stock has rallied much previously, because that is the reason it is trading in the stage 4. Well, let the stock consolidate for a bit, and if the new set of growth comes into the stock, then definitely it will going to be a good performer. But currently, it is not advised to take an entry, and for the stop loss level, you can keep 200 MA, which is another 6%. So it might not be feasible for 6% from here, but depending on the buy price, if you have the risk appetite to take another 6% loss, you can hold on to that level. Otherwise, you can exit around another 1% or 2% fall from here. You can exit.
Thanks, Raj. I will take few. So there are also some YouTube queries. We will also take that. And there is one on Railtel Corporation of India. So the railway stocks have been a big winner since last few months. And Railtel also, after breakout from a stage 1 cup with handle base in June, it ran almost 50%, in just 2 months of time. So that's a decent, or you can say a very superb return. So overall, the recent fundamentals have been good. The ratings are good. See, broadly, Railtel Corporation is a very good proxy to the digitalization. जो गवर्नमेंट में प्राइवेट में हर जगह ये डिजिटलाइजेशन का ड्राइव हो रहा है ना, स्पेशली ऑन द गवर्नमेंट साइड, ऑन द रेलवे साइड दे आर getting advanced in technologies. So so Railtel is a very good proxy play over there, and it is expected to have a very, very good benefit from the digital transformation programs of the government, and especially on the railway side. So the railway, एक तरफ रेलवे में इतना ग्रोथ हो रहा है, नई ट्रेन्स आ रही है, so वहां पे डिजिटलाइजेशन ज्यादा हो रहा है. So Railtel is only player, you can say, or the front running player over there. So ये उनका major growth driver है, and that might continue well. So now that is also getting reflected in price. It was moving sideways. It was consolidating for a long time. If you look at the weekly chart, yes, it was range bound, thoda consolidation हुआ, but I think since the beginning of FY23 with all other railway stocks, यहाँ पे भी एक strong momentum है, and it has now crossed its IPO price जो initial days में आया था, उसको भी cross कर दिया है. So fresh entry not suggested over here, much extended. Even 200 DMA से 60 जितने extended है, 50 से 33 जितने extended है. आई थिंक एक नया बेस बनाता है या फिर 2150 DMA पे पुल बैक आता है, that will be a good time to enter. If you're already holding the stock, then maybe some partial profit booking, or you can trail your level. You can decide the level, like 2-3 दिन पहले का लो का लेवल या फिर ऐसा कुछ डिसाइड करो, क्योंकि इवन 21 से ये 18% extended है. So if you have taken some recent entries, then you need to be very diligent with the stop loss level over here, or you can say the profit booking level. Okay. Okay. So this stock has good fundamental. It's a good growth story. जो टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री है उसके बड़े प्लेयर्स इसके सबसे बड़े क्लाइंट है. सो दिस डील्स विद द स्पेशलिटी केमिकल्स. सो जैसे कि वेल्सपन है, रेमंड है, वो इसके मेजर क्लाइंट है. Most of the revenue for FCL comes from the textile related chemicals, the majority of it. So yes, if you look at the base formation, it's a good stage 1 consolidation base, and I think the base formation is also good. यहाँ पे देखो लो वॉल्यूम पे कंसोलिडेट हुआ है, इवन ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द बेस. ठीक है, राइट साइड में अभी लास्ट 2 सेशंस में वो 50 DMA रिक्लेम किया हाई वॉल्यूम पे, उसके बाद फिर से हाई वॉल्यूम एक्शन. टुडे इट ब्रीफली इट केम नियर द पिवट, but it was not able to hold the gains. And just as a disclaimer, this is the part of our watch list. So this is something that we are having a watch on. But overall story good. थोड़ा relative strength improve होना है, breakout high volume पे होना है. बाकी ROE, the recent number of funds holding good. अभी लास्ट क्वार्टर में तो सिर्फ 25% ग्रोथ दिखेगा, बट ब्रॉडली देखो लास्ट 1 ईयर में इसमें सिर्फ 7 या 8 फंड थे एक साल पहले, एंड नाउ द फंड होल्डिंग हैज इंक्रीज्ड टू ऑलमोस्ट नंबर ऑफ फंड्स आर 25. सो एक ईयर का अगर आप देखो, देन दैट्स अ वेरी गुड ग्रोथ as far as the funds are concerned. And I think looking at this volume, this always indicates some institutional buying. इतना high volume पे day high पे close होता है. So this do indicate some institutional buying still going on in the stock. So let's wait for breakout on a higher volume. And then looking at the market condition, I think very rarely a stock moves, in the direction opposite to the market. So if Nifty is not able to settle well above some good range, then I think you need to wait even if the breakout is good.
Okay, Rishit, I'll take queries now. Can you put up a Dabur chart? Okay, Dabur has been forming a very wide and long saucer with handle base pattern. Currently, it is trading in the handle portion, but the handle portion is not constructive. The volumes are on the higher side when the stock is falling. This is not a positive sign. And also currently it is trading very close to its 200 DMA. Some couple of times reached 200 DMA and tried to reclaim that level as well. So it's going to be a testing level for the stock at this particular level. The pivot is still 7% from here, so there is a long way to go. Ratings wise, also it's not a very positive stock. You can see technicals have beaten down completely because of this underperformance the stock has been going through for the last 1 year. Price strength has completely come down to 26. There is no sign of RS line increasing or trending higher. Still, the RS line is on the lower side. Buyer demand is also on the lower side. That is, A by D rating is very poor. It is at a D minus. That is majorly because when the stock is falling, it is falling on higher volumes. That indicates selling by the big players. The same can be seen in the number of funds section as well. There is a 5% decline in the number of funds in the last 1 quarter itself. So that is indicating that some of the big players have exiting their positions in this particular stock. And fundamental rating of EPS of 61 is not a strong rating. That is majorly because If you look at the bottom left section, you can see here why the EPS is on the lower side. Sales growth is only on the single digit number, 3 to 7, 8% for the last 4 quarters. But the EPS has come down, and there is no major growth happening on the profit wise. So that is the reason EPS rating is on the lower side. Fresh entry is not advised at this particular point. There are stocks which are looking good at the market, but this stock is completely can be considered as a laggard. It's better to stay away from these stocks. If you are holding it already, you can keep a stop loss around today's low or the previous, that is Tuesday's low. You can keep those levels as a stop loss, and you can exit when the volume increases on the. Next is Maruti. Maruti is doing very good at the current in the current market. You can see it has broken out from stage 1 double bottom base pattern in the today's session. The volume is also very high. It is considered it is a very strong breakout on the price volume front. Stock advanced more than 2% higher, and volume also came in very good. It was very strong breakout. But the ratings are not very good. If you look at RS strength, particularly RS strength is on the lower side at 42. But the RS line is improving slightly, but still there is a long way to go. RS rating around 7 to 80 is considered good, but anything below 50, 40 is considered poor. So that is a major concern. And also market structure is not very strong. So that is the reason we are not adding all the breakouts, or we are not aggressive while adding because of the overall market structure and increasing the distribution day count and market below 50 DMA, that is Nifty below 50 DMA. So that is the reason we are not very aggressive while adding, but there are any good stocks with good ratings and very strong breakouts such as Maruti, then we can consider, but Maruti's ratings are not looking good. That is the reason we stayed away, and this stock has good support at 100 DMA, so that level can be kept as a stop loss going forward. I'll take TVS Motors as well, another auto stock. Technically, both are looking on the similar side on the chart wise, especially. Currently, it is also trading in the near pivot of recent breakout, that is stage 3 flat base, and RS rating is also very good when you compare with Maruti 40. This stock has 60, but positive sign is this RS line has formed a blue dot indicating a fresh rally about to happen, and RS line hitting new highs. So positive side on the technicals. Fundamentals also looking very good. Ratings have been very good. EPS of 89 indicates a strong fundamental character. That is because if you look at the quarterly earnings section, it is clearly visible why the rating is on the higher side. Consistently, company has been able to generate growth around 20% on the sales front and 40% on the bottom line front. So very positive sign. Number of funds have also increased sharply, 15% growth in the last quarter. Again, a positive sign. Very positive stock. It is looking very good on most of the parameters, and you can continue to hold it if you already have this stock, and keep around 50 DMA as a stop loss for selling.
Okay, I'll take a few queries. So one is on KNR construction. Here also the stock has completed a stage 1 cup with handle base, and it tried to break out today, but I think as Rajshekhar was discussing, market thoda choppy hai. So there is a mixed trend. While you see there is a breakout, some of them are holding well, like Maruti did today. But if you look at the FCL, वो भी नीचे बंद हुआ. Even the KNR, it closed just below the pivot level. So the volume was decent, no two ways about that. Even the formation, the cup with handle formation is good. The right side में थोड़ा strong momentum मिला है. यहाँ पे भी RS rating बहुत poor है. The line is going higher, that's fine. If you can see the RS line since last few days, especially on the right side of the base, is strong, but the rating is a little weak, 38. You want some better ratings from here. Otherwise, the stock is broadly good. The fundamentals are strong for the construction company if you compare. Even the last quarter results was good. The management is very positive on the order book. ठीक है, guidance भी इस बार revenue का guidance for current year around 4,000 crore का दिया है, and even order inflow होगा 4 to 5,000 crore का. So that the fundamental part is not a problem. एक basic margins वो लोग sustain कर पा रहे हैं. But one thing that's hanging over here is the payment from the irrigation project, because KNR takes a lot of irrigation projects, and I think अभी जो state election है, especially जहाँ पे election है, वहाँ पे उनका काफी सारे projects थे. So the payment cycle might get disturbed a bit, and that's what market generally don't like in such kind of stocks. बाकी order book देखिए, and even the infra growth, the NHAI से जो tendering का process हो रहा है, ठीक है, दूसरे भी projects है, the irrigation, the government के, वहाँ पे हर जगह काफी सारे active है लोग. So the order book, the revenue growth, not a major issue, but हाँ, ये थोड़ा payment cycle disturbed due to the election might be a thing to watch out for, but broadly it's not a problem. Okay, so now there's one more on Hindustan Copper. Yes, there has been a very good momentum in Hindustan Copper in last couple of months. ठीक है, एक टाइम था जब 2020 में और 21 में there was a huge rally. अगर आप ट्विटर देखो, टेलीग्राम देखो, कुछ भी देखो, न्यूज देखो, एक ही बात होती थी, कॉपर कॉपर कि ईवीज आने वाली है, ईवीज आर कमिंग. So now the requirement of copper is such a high, the copper inventory is low, the prices will skyrocket. Every day you will heard some new story about the positivity or the optimism so-called around the copper. Some point it was a bit realistic that the demand might increase with the new technologies in the EVs. The requirement for the copper might increase, but the pace is not what reflected at that point of time. So after even the prices of copper, so the prices of copper were going higher in 2021. फिर 22 में आते आते वो peak बना दिया, and वहां से there was a sharp fall. I remember some 40-50% fall था from the high. More than 40% for sure कॉपर के प्राइसेस में फॉल आया था, and that's what reflected over here also. हिंदुस्तान कॉपर में भी काफी फॉल आया. Then after some consolidation, gradually the copper prices are increasing, but I think it is still 20-30% below that 2022 high. So 21-2 के स्टेप में वो हाई बना था कॉपर प्राइसेस में, वहां से अभी भी वो 30-40% they are lower. But I think now the pricing gradually improve हो रहा है, demand भी फिर से gradually improve हो रहा है, and that can be reflected over here. So since last few weeks, or you can say month, there has been good traction in Hindustan Copper. So broadly, there was a good base formation over here, but abhi काफी extended, 33% from the base, and it's highly extended from key moving averages as well. So as I had discussed in few other stocks, wait for a fresh base or pull back to some moving averages. थोड़ा consolidation का time देना पड़ेगा इसको. Do not chase it. If you are already holding it, I think 21 DMA should be or can be used as the stop loss. Okay, there is one on ACE. We have discussed this many times, and it's an excellent story. And that's what I can say about this one. It's a super play for the India's infra growth story. Okay, look at the earnings, the revenue growth. It tells everything about the momentum with which it is running. And look at the fund interest, 50% growth in last quarter, and that's always reflected in the stock price. जब इतने सारे फंड इसके पीछे भागते हो, so if you are holding then it's a very good decision or investment decision to hold this one as of now. Broadly, ऐसे stock में 50 DMA stop loss रखना चाहिए, and fresh entry anyways not suggested because there can be a fall if it breaches some levels. So broadly, अगर ये पिछली बार stage 1 से breakout हुआ था, so let's see if it can form the another base, and if the fundamental and the growth story remains intact, which is having a higher probability to remain intact. But I think अभी जो focus होगा ना पूरा वो margin front पे होगा. अभी order visibility है, growth story चलेगा, infra चलेगा, ठीक है. अभी election अगर government continue रहती है तो I think infra growth पे कुछ ज़्यादा hanging issues भी नहीं होंगे. But now the focus will be more on the margin, that with all these things in place, can they deliver on the margin front as well? So वहां से profitability बढ़ेगी और वहां से उनका PE expansion होगा. Okay.
I'll take few queries, and I think I'll close this session also. We're already past 5:30.
Sure.
I think RK Forging. A very good story and very good cancelling stock, you can say, for the Ramkrishna Forgings. So stock has broken out in the last year around November December area, and from there it has been rallying higher and higher, and it is very good rally as well. You can see most of the times 21 DMA was tested and it has found good support at its 21 DMA, which is a very positive sign of a constructive rally. And stock retracing towards its 21 DMA and finding support, and again rebounding from that particular level is considered a very positive sign of a rally, which is still intact, and further rally is expected in such kind of stocks. Ratings wise, it's a very perfect for the canceling stock. EPS of 86 and RS rating is 96, almost the highest. Buyer demand is at the highest level. Both technically and fundamentally, the stock is belonging to the top quadrant on the parameters wise. Number of funds also, just like Action Construction, this stock has also attracted almost 36% growth in the number of funds. A very positive sign. That is, lots of funds have taken fresh positions. That is the reason for this rally. Almost 200% growth on the stock price front from the recent breakout. If you are taken on the breakout, you would have made lots of returns, and it's better to continue to hold it, because today's session is also very strong. You can see the stock closed more than 10% higher, and volume was also on the higher side. There is still a fuel for the growth for this stock. Maybe it might come back to its 21 DMA, but still there is a fresh rally can happen from there. And but on the downside, there is a decisive closing on the below 21 DMA. It's better to exit because the stock has advanced so much. So there might be some selling pressure coming into the market, into the stock. There will be stage where profit booking will be seen, and selling pressure will also come in. So it's also okay to take out profits when your profits are around 100% or more than that, and move on to other stocks as well. Next is CAMS and Intellect Design. CAMS, it is trading in the stage 1 cup with handle base pattern, currently in the handle portion of the base pattern. But the volumes are on the higher side. During handle portion, we would like to see the volumes declining, but the volumes are also on the higher side. That indicates selling pressure in the stock, which is not a positive sign. And EPS is still intact because earnings are good enough, but technicals have come down because the stock's underperformance. RS rating has come down to 38 because of underperformance, and recent there is selling and the higher volumes as well. In the last 1 week, the stock has fallen from a pivot of 2500 to almost 200 points of selling has happened. But the stock is still trading above its 50 DMA. You can keep that 50 DMA as a stop loss level, and fresh entry is not advised at the current moment. RS line is not looking good, and base formation is also not ideal. It's better in this current market scenario. Go with stocks only when they have good base formation and good ratings. Okay, I think this will be a last query for the today's session. Don't be felt left out that we are not taken with queries, but our objective here is not to take many queries. Our objective is to educate most of the participants here about the cancel methodology, how we take decisions on the buying side, on the selling side, and how we manage model portfolio. That is the core objective of this session. Not about the number of stocks, but it's about the knowledge we are sharing in this session. And coming to Intellect design, the stock has advanced sharply from the after reclaiming its 200 DMA in May. The stock has moved higher and higher, and currently it is trading near 2-week highs and just 1% from below that. EPS is also looking very good, but there is no proper base formation. That is the only concern, and RS rating is also improving. RS line is also improving, and it is trending higher. Positive sign. So you can continue to hold it, and you can keep a stop loss around 21 DMA, which is 3 to 4% from the current market price as a stop loss, and you can continue to hold it. But a fresh entry is not advised. There is no proper base formation, and RS rating is also slightly on the 72 is fair enough, but we like to see more increase in this RS line as well going forward. And base formation is also advised because the current market is not looking good. So it's better to go with basic buying strategies rather than going with the advanced buying strategies. Rashid, should we close this session?
Yeah, sure, Rashikar, you can close it. So
Yeah.
I hope the session was useful to you guys. If we have missed out on some important queries where you wanted the answer as much, you can always email us. We'll try to respond as soon as possible.
Yes, yeah, sure. Again, thanks everyone for joining. We are ending this session now. I hope it was a good interactive session. Our sales team or our marketing email ID can ask us your queries, and we'll take some time to within a day or two we'll close your query as soon as possible. Thanks everyone.